Hi guys, welcome back to Nintendo Minute. We are very excited to be not in the studio today and at PAX West.
Live at PAX.
Live at PAX West with a bunch of really amazing people. Perfect. Right on cue, I love it. And we're here to talk about Metroid Samus Returns with special guest Audrey from the Nintendo Treehouse.
Welcome.
Perfect. So as Mr. Sakamoto mentioned in the video, he was really kind and sent over some pieces of concept art that we haven't shown before, just for this panel, just for you guys, to get you excited for the game.
決して裏切りませんので、どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。
So here is our first piece.
It's Queen Metroid.
Yeah.
And as Sakamoto-san has said, you can see she has about 1 billion eyes, roughly 1 billion eyes. And those are actually to convey that she's kind of guarding over all of the Metroids that she's birthed into the world. And she also has a lot of spikes and a lot of teeth, so she's pretty formidable.
So there's another comment they shared that I liked of, as you get from different types of Metroid, you can see sort of a common through line of them getting bigger and more fearsome, but they share a lot of the same traits. And one that he called out was the sort of triple jaw that it has that opens up all these different ways, and that's actually my preferred way to eat a hot dog myself, because I just open it up that way and just cram it right in.
But we do have new enemies added to the game as well. This is actually really different than sort of traditional enemies in Metroid games, so I'm pretty excited to show you guys this.
I'm really excited about the one. This is the Diggernaut.
Yeah.
And the concept behind this one was actually he's an ancient Chozo mining robot. So the thought was that he was used to actually dig into the center of the planet when they were building their colony.
And this really is a great change of pace in the game. You're fighting a lot of Metroids, you're exploring, and then out of nowhere, boom, now you're fighting this. So it really does make that feel special and different, and you'll fight this enemy a couple different times in the game.
It scares the crap out of you.
It's true for anyone who's a fan of classic Metroid, which probably a few in here, I'm guessing. Yeah, exactly.
Good.
This has that feel of old school Metroid just to a T, the mystery and the isolation.
Yeah.
So you are in for a treat if that's your jam.
Yeah. So here's one of Samus in her gravity suit, which is really cool. And this is a more of a kind of a blueprint or schematic of that, showing both the gravity suit and of course the morph ball. So it's very interesting to see sort of the suit in this detail.
Yeah, they really wanted to convey a sense of lightness and power here, and I think it really came across.
And also the sort of glowing blue element indicating that it's keeping her very cool as she descends into the hotter parts of the planet. And I think they even called out that there's some elements that look like wings to indicate that she could almost fly away, which I thought is really cool because that's kind of a theme that you see visually in like mythology or in other parts of pop culture of just this sense of lightness being indicated, visually on the body of a character.
And then the last piece we have here is an illustration of the Chozo base. And of course, it's so creepy. Basically, the floor is like covered with those scary poisonous plants. And
they shared was they felt like the Metroids would go to the hotter parts of the planet, so you can see kind of the glowing red elements, and they've really kind of colonized this more and more. So those are the two main color schemes that you have here: is that redness indicating the heat, and then the green just indicating it being infested with Metroids.
So before this panel, we actually did something really fun on the Nintendo Twitter account. We asked you guys to submit your fan art for Metroid. And of course, our fans are so talented. There's always, whenever we do kind of a call like this, we'll always get just the most incredible submissions from folks that have really amazing artistic skills. We try to draw Metroids on our notes today. And
Don't talk about that.
Sorry.
They're
Fair to
gorgeous.
middling.
We're not going to show you, but they're gorgeous.
It's not. It's
It's
okay.
bad.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yes.
One of those.
Fan art.
Museum quality.
Museum quality. But for reals, let's take a look at some really good fan art. So we picked 6 pieces to show you guys, but we got tons of submissions. Here's our first one, which is so cool. More gravity suit.
Yeah. This is by @VariaZim. I really like just that this is giving you a sense of the vastness of the universe. Not to get all metaphysical here, but this Samus's adventure is happening on one planet at one time. But what else is out there?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Yeah. We'll discuss this at a later time.
Yeah.
Yeah. The philosophical.
Yeah.
nature of
On
this
the
piece
next
of fan
Nintendo
art.
Minute.
To discuss with my therapist.
Okay, next one here. I love the contrast between
Yeah.
the two.
Change of
right?
pace.
Change of pace.
Like the dig or not, this is a change of pace.
Yeah, such a different art style. Such an interesting take on both Samus with like the big head and the chibi head. Yeah. And
Cute.
then
At Gosha Doyle did that one.
Yeah.
Gosha Dole, sorry.
next.
This one's just groovy.
Yeah, this is so cool.
It's like it's sort of inspired by some Eastern artwork. You know, you almost think, you know, things look like dragons in
Yeah.
the background.
It looks really dreamy to me as well.
Yeah.
Like it has sort of like this dream state, maybe because of the colors, but
I think this is what a Metroid dream looks like.
yeah,
Oh.
I don't know
a
that.
fevered Metroid dream and
This is not canon.
The next one's your favorite, I think.
There's a really cool
Explain why.
backstory to this one, which is this is actually made up of different food items.
Yeah.
So you can see cauliflower. I think the talons they look like
Crab
crab claws or
yeah.
something.
Lobster claws.
Maybe some sort of a jello mold
Like
involved.
Twizzlers or
Yeah.
something for the veins.
Yeah.
Those combination of items sound really gross, but it looks cool in like Metroid art.
I wouldn't eat it, but I'd look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then, Hot Rod McCool Guy.
Yeah,
Maybe
Hot
the
Rod
best-
McCool
the-
Guy.
The best name
Best name.
ever.
Yes.
I mean, lives up to it, clearly, with his artistic prowess. This one I was like staring at for a long time because it didn't look like it was actually like a piece you could even make. I don't know. I was like, this is like.
I think this is
how
like
this
a
possible?
3D render
Like a
of some
render,
sort. Yeah,
yeah.
very talented.
All right, and our last piece is from Lee Kovacs.
Friend of the show, Lee.
She's not only an amazing artist, but she's an amazing cosplayer
Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah, as with her costume, she really represents all the fine details of the characters in the artwork here, which was
Yeah.
what makes it stand out so much.
yeah, very cool. All right, Audrey is going to give us a demo.
Right in here. In case you're unaware, we're here on planet SR388, and Samus wants to kill some Metroids, so we're not going to keep the lady waiting for too long.
This is a reimagining of Metroid 2 from the Game Boy. How many people here have played that?
Yes.
Wow.
It's like maybe
Fantastic.
half or so. Yeah.
Yeah. How many people played that and made their own maps on grid paper? Sam, raise your
Paper,
hand.
right?
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, I played a bit of Metroid 2 on the flight over here just
Yeah.
to refresh myself.
Yeah,
And I think it was doing a lot of great things on Game Boy at the time. You know, it had a big world, the character sprites were really big, but yeah, there was no map. I'm like, how did I get through this game?
And you have a terrible sense of direction.
I
so
do.
It's not good
No,
for you.
it's not good.
There is a very good map in this game, and you can put
Yes,
markers
there is.
down, and
Yeah,
you
and-
can use the amiibo to help you if you get lost, and there's AN abilities to help you, which is, I think it bodes well for you, for real.
Somehow, even though this has been upgraded so much, it really captures the feeling of the original and really brings it to life with a lot of enhancements. Like we saw when I first started playing the Chozo Seal.
Yeah.
And that's a really cool visual representation of what happens when you actually kill the Metroids and collect their DNA. So
Right.
here we're in Area 1, so this is still pretty early. We're not trying to spoil anyone on anything, but just let me give you a little taste before the game comes.
I'm very impressed that you've been talking and also executing some pretty amazing. I saw some spider ball action.
We'll see how
Did a
well
little
that
melee
goes.
Timing's
counter
on
going
point.
on.
Come Metroid time.
It's impressive.
All right, as we saw, activating the Chozo Seal earlier actually lowered the poison goo, which allowed me to explore a new area, and I actually found an elevator to take me somewhere completely new. Oh, you are a jerk. Not you guys. You guys are great.
So I actually have a crazy comparison that I sort of came up with in my head for Metroid games. And that is, Metroid games are kind of like Picross, in that you have the information, you know, that's available to you at the time, you have the power-ups that you have, and you're kind of chipping away at this map. And at a certain point, you know, you get more information in Picross, you get more power-ups here, you keep chipping away, and by the time it's done, you really feel like you have a sense of ownership over it, of, you know, I got through this and I did it my way.
Just like Frank
Okay.
Sinatra.
I see a lot of people shaking their head out there.
You're going.
Made sense to me.
Just a second ago, we passed up another Chozo Seal, but I don't actually have enough dead Metroid DNA left to open that one up, so
Yeah.
I have an idea of how we can fix that problem.
Probably, maybe find some Metroids.
So now we're going to use Scan Pulse, and this is a new ability added to the game. It's an Aeon ability. And when I activate it, I can actually see breakable parts in the wall. And using it here shows me that there aren't actually any nearby. So that missile tank right there, I'm going to have to go back for it. And that's the great thing, too, is that you can play it old school and just bomb everything, or
Yeah.
you can use Aeon and save yourself some time. So here's the save station. And while I have this great squishy Metroid here, actually. I'm going to go ahead and scan it. And if I scan this Metroid, it'll show if there's a Metroid in the area, and it'll actually show it on the map. So now I know if I want to kill a Metroid, head in that direction.
Yeah.
It's
It's
just
nice
what I'm
that it
gonna
gives
do.
you like a little hint, but doesn't tell you exactly how to get there either.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to still explore and kind of find your way over to it. Yeah, I love the way, you know, with Metroid games when you are collecting these power-ups, the world just feels like it's opening up to you. And the ability
Absolutely.
for you to go back and explore different areas is really like, it's like very satisfying to me. You know?
Feels
Like a
really-
Picross puzzle almost.
No.
Let it go, kid.
It's not
Let
really.
it go.
No one likes this comparison.
So
Speaking of which-
Yeah, speaking of backtracking, we actually have this teleport station now, and this lets you go back to areas that you've already been to. We're already right where we want to be, but this is invaluable when you're trying to go back to places you couldn't access before or look for missile tanks you might have missed. So there's another missile tank, and I can't let these guys go. I have to track them down. So I'm going to use scan pulse again, and it looks like next to this groovy purple haze there that there's breakable blocks, but I can't get there just yet. Oh, hi, Metroid Husk. That's
You.
bothersome.
Steaming Metroid husk
Ew.
also smells bad.
I don't think that smells good.
And I'm
at
very
all.
close to the Metroid, but this is breakable, so I'm just gonna have to follow it. Just have to see what happens.
Yeah, you do get that very ominous, rapid beeping. Oh, the missile tank from
There's the
before.
missile tank from earlier.
Oh, good.
Feels so good.
I know, you're like, it's like bugging you still from
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, no, if you love exploring every square inch of a world, oh, you're gonna love this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nicely executed.
All right, so as you can see, my Metroid sensor is going nuts, so methinks there's a Metroid through this door.
Yeah, probably. Probably.
There he is. Hi, friend. Let's be friends. Nope.
No.
All right. It's not going to go down that way. So, as you can see, this is actually an evolved Alpha Metroid. So he's a little bit more of a jerk than usual. Oh, but I'm going to melee counter
Nice.
and bomb him into oblivion. But I really...
Oh no!
Jerk!
How dare he?
But as you can see, even just one hit, he does an insane amount of damage.
Yeah.
And if those little electric balls he drops hit you, you are
Not in a
deep
good
of
place.
trouble.
Yeah. And it's cool during, each of the Metroid fights. It's a little bit different. There's different environments that you're fighting in. There you go. You make
Got 'em.
pretty quick work of that. All the Metroids are different too. There's ones that are, lightning based and all different.
Yeah.
So
So you
it
have
keeps
to
it
up
really
your
interesting.
game every
yes.
time you find one.
You don't know what to expect when you encounter one.
Scandals and boom. All kinds of breakable walls in here. They didn't build this place to last. And these flowers here, I just think they're so cool. Much like Samus, they're beautiful but deadly.
Yes,
So,
pretty much.
take care of them.
Oh, nice.
I saw you. Now this guy though, he looks super friendly. I'm gonna trust him. If you ever see a glowing ball on an alien planet, just go for it.
Yeah.
It'll probably
That's
be
our
fine.
advice to you. That was my favorite animation in the game.
I
is
love that
like
animation.
that little.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool.
The tongue shoots you back.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
It's like doing the wave. I love it.
It's just like doing the wave. And now we've got the lightning armor. This is another new Aeon ability added to this game, and this is really cool because while it's activated, it'll actually take damage from your Aeon gauge instead of from your health. So there are some areas where this is absolutely invaluable. And I'm about to show
And
you
you also
one of
don't get
those.
stunned when you're being attacked at all. You can just go right through it.
Right.
And it also looks really cool.
It looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you can see, my Aeon gauge isn't going down, so it only goes down as you take damage, which means you can use it really, really strategically. And here we are near that awesome purple haze, and I remember there being like breakable blocks here. So, oh gosh, I'm gonna very, very quickly break them.
Oh, now you see your Aeon gauge going down.
Get in the water, which
Yeah.
counteracts the fog. So, there's that missile tank.
Nice.
Yes.
It's like being attacked by a swarm of bees. Just go straight to water.
Yep.
Right.
It's a good thing.
Feels
there's
like it's
a tunnel
painful
there.
though.
It
like
looks really
it looks like it's
painful,
like
yeah.
burning or something. Oh goodness. No, run!
Okay, we're okay.
Poor Samus. Such a trooper.
You were fine.
Oh yeah, the melee counter when you have the lightning armor on
It
is
looks awesome.
so cool.
It looks really cool. And since I just went to where I got the Aeon upgrade, I actually was able to refill my Aeon there, which is going to be really handy for the dumb thing I'm about to do.
Oh no.
So I can run through this with the lightning armor, but I kind of like to be tricksy and just
Like
go
sneak
underneath
on
it.
by there.
To
Nice.
save it for a rainy day. But
Oh,
here,
yes.
here are those flowers, and you know, I'm just going for it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That sound when it's
Run.
in there, it's like scratch.
Well, don't just
Sounds
stand
so
there. What are you
painful.
doing?
No, we're having a party. It's great.
Counting down.
And we got a missile tank, see? It was worth it.
So worth it. All that pain,
Absolutely
worth it.
And so in the interest of not spoiling too much, I'm not going to venture any farther past this, but that
All
should
right.
give you a little...
For those of you who watch Nintendo Minute videos, might know that we do sometimes episodes with comment time. Yeah, so we looked at all your comments from the Metroid video we did with Sam, and here's what you guys had to say about that. Sam's cool. Have Audrey as a guest next. Well, okay.
It's almost like we read these comments.
Yeah, you know, we listen.
Sam is cool, and here I am. Hi.
Red light when an enemy is in your sights really makes Samus feel like a bounty hunter.
So, when you do the sort of manual aiming, they really nailed the cool factor. Every one of those poses is so stylish
Yeah,
and
it
so
is.
sort of iconic, and some of them look a little uncomfortable, but I don't care because they look so neat.
As you saw during my dance party, that it's how I play that game.
Dangerous flower dance party.
Very, very dangerous.
Yes. This game is where you can't really rush through it. You see how speedrunners
That's
see
the
that kind of-
truth. You really can't rush through it. You
Yeah,
have
we
to be...
kinda, yeah, got a sense of that with our players that came up. You know, it's you got to explore, you got to kind of figure out like the environment around you and stuff.
And that's really the great thing about old school Metroid games,
Yeah.
is that you have to be really thoughtful, really cunning about how you go about exploring this planet, because it's full of secrets, it's also full of danger, and if you're not careful, you will die so many kinds of horrible deaths, so much death.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what the speedrunning community might do with the game, though, once it's out and once they really sort of
get
master
used
it.
to it and
Right.
Yeah.
This is a great experience to make your own maps when you're younger. I remember mine. I still have some. So we were just talking about the
Team
mapping.
grid paper.
Yeah.
I've seen a few people talking about going back to sort of older games that didn't have maps and doing them in really like special ways. So like Jeremy Parrish of Retronauts is somebody I've been seeing. He's been doing maps of, you know, older Metroid games, older Metal Gear games,
Yeah.
and in a very artisanal way, and something that I would want to hang up in my game room, but I can't, you know, I can't do it myself.
Yeah,
So maybe he
very
can just
cool.
send me one of those when he's done. I'd love
Yeah.
that.
Jeremy, are you listening to this? We hope so. Send us maps, please. All right, our last comment here is a really long one. But so does anybody else think the melee counter looks kind of abusable?
And so this is an interesting comment. The melee counter requires very specific timing for each enemy. So it's not like just a free-for-all, kill every enemy button.
Yeah.
Like I've melee countered a few times in my life, so I'm used to the timing, but
Yeah.
it takes a lot of practice. I'll also point to what Sakamoto-san said during E3, is that the game was actually rebalanced for all of these new abilities. So it's not like they just shoved these into the old gameplay balance. It's actually been reworked so that it's still just as difficult and challenging as you would want a Metroid game to be.
So thank you guys so much for being with us today. We really hope you love this look of Metroid Samus Returns. We really hope that you guys check the game out when it launches for Nintendo 3DS on September 15th.
What you've been
Get the
asking
game.
for, this is it. So
Yeah.
we hope you enjoy it.
And have a great rest of your packs. Thank you guys so much.
Nintendo Minute is never a minute.